after certain years of struggle, definitely a startup will have a struggle unless it is having a very early stage client for them, for whom they are making the product. Unless they have somebody like that, they will definitely have struggles. Okay, so that is a quality of the entrepreneur that we normally look for. The perseverance to go through the struggle is the quality that we used to normally look for in the entrepreneur. So during these struggles, what normally happens is the 3F, that is friends, family, and fools, probably are the people who really go invest in these ideas and help them to develop it into a kind of a product, or because from the idea to the product. Okay, so this is actually a pre-seed kind of timing, okay, for the startup. That is, if they are not even ready to go for the seed funding with a POC, proof of concept, or a minimum viable product, or rather a prototype, in fact. Okay, so this is the idea stage. Actually, when the student comes, normally it is at that point, that the starting point, where you have this kind of, maybe they must have done something, or they may not have done at all. Probably whatever money they have in their pocket, they must have put into this idea, and maybe they must have then at least that much of seriousness should be there in the students who are coming for the coming to you to become the entrepreneurs. Okay, definitely not, I'm not telling that they will be spending a lot of money, but at least they must have tried out something with some help from somewhere. Okay, so from there, actually, you are going for the customer validation. It could be basically at that point is where we are trying to identify the customer, who are going to be our customers, and what are the expectations for of the customers. So there, one thing that we have to do is a clear, thorough market survey. Okay. So there, actually, unless they are trying to understand the market. See, nowadays the problem is the students, especially they come from this engineering or technology background. What happens is mostly they're kind of obsessed with the technology, and they totally forget about the client, or rather customer perceptions. So whatever product you do, whatever rocket science that you are trying to solve out, or you are trying to make, the problem is ultimately it has to have some kind of a value to the customer. Okay, or it should give some value which is not actually which is slightly more than the value that they're getting from the options that is there in the market already. Okay, then only this becomes innovative, or this becomes acceptable in the market. Okay, so this is something, the our major role in supporting this innovative students is basically to make them understand the requirements of the market. Okay, so once the market requirement is completely understood, half of the job is done. Okay, so this customer discovery, and then again the customer validation. Customer validation can be done in two ways. First of all, if it is a very early stage, definitely they can go for a market survey. Normally, we ask all the students, or all this, whether any of the innovators, whether they're students or anybody else, we ask them to do a market survey, the actual markets are definitely when they make the business plan or the project report. What happens is they just cut and paste from copy and paste from Google or some search reports. Okay, you can see all the market survey reports, or rather the economic survey reports, and all everywhere. You can, this is the industry growth rate and all they must have already done. But actual interest from the customer is what we have to look for. Okay, the customer feedback or the customer validation that they have done. So this is where you can actually invest on the, or rather start investing, start thinking of investing on the idea that the inventor is proposing. Okay, so this is actually the seed stage, because when you have, if you have some seed fund with you, or what we do, the funding, the seed funding, that what we do, or other many other incubation centers do. Even Kerala Startup Mission also does a lot of seed funding in the innovative ideas. Okay, so this seed funding level is where we have to, and by that level, the customer validation or the idea validation should have done with the actual market feedback. Okay, then actually the customer creation is the next thing. So by then, actually, we must have done the minimum viable project. So the product, so the seed money is basically for the making the minimum viable product. So the seed money probably any of this government mechanisms or DPIs or anybody could have given, or probably you might have to go to any of the high net worth individuals or somebody who's ready to fund the startup, fund the idea to make it into a product or rather a minimum viable product with the basic minimum functionalities if it is a very innovative product. Okay, because you need to have an option for adding the features, more and more features, because whatever you take to the customer, they will have slightly, the expectation is slightly different from what you have envisaged, what the innovator have envisaged. So definitely there need to be an option for, more adding more product, because when normally the innovator, very enthusiastic technology based innovator will wait for a product which is totally a very good, very finished one with all the features. So it will be always better not to go for all the features, but the basic minimum features which will satisfy the basic customer requirement. Then after that, because and also the pricing will have to be at that with that MVP, minimum viable product. You don't encourage any of your students to have a full-fledged product with all the functionalities to be taken to the customer. Start with the basic minimum. Okay, then take it to the customer and then have the feedback on that and then start developing on that. Probably you might, because on adding on the functionalities, they will have to spend a lot of money and they'll have to spend a lot of time also. So before that, what you have to keep in mind is hit the market at the earliest and then start adding on that, and then take whatever customer feedback is there, then add on to that and then make it a perfect product. Okay, so this with MVP you are actually doing the customer creation, or rather again a validation, the early stage. So at this stage probably the innovator, there is a chance that it is totally out of what the market perspective, and probably this is not what the market requires and you might fail. Okay, so that is fine. So if you understand that you at a very early stage, if you are failing, it's fine, because in incubation, the theory is like if you are helping the innovator to fail at an early stage, also is a good thing, because this money or the resources spent by the innovator on this developing this business, if it is failing at an early stage, is a minimum. So minimizing the resource utilization also is a success of incubation impact. Okay, we might be feeling that only when you have successful companies, the incubation is successful. Not like that. This also is to be included in that. Okay, so again, now when you feel that okay, the customer wants something, customer wants this minimum viable product, and you can probably go ahead with this. Okay, fine. Then you can go for the expansion plan. You can have all these but then go for the angel funding, or then later on the venture capital or whatever, and then grow them into a growth stage. Okay, then actually this customer creation, after the customer creation is what we do the company building and then taking it into a next level. Okay, the organization building basically. Now you have all these things in the innovation ecosystem, all these other participants of the innovation ecosystem. You have this, of course, government being the major part now, right now, because we see in every day, probably we see some good news coming for supporting things coming from the government side for the startups and innovators. So in the form of kind of relaxed regulations or tax incentives and some legal frameworks and all those kind of different. I'm sure you should be knowing about so many different regulations that is there in the government side, and even the incentives also. Then again, definitely the demand also is very good, because even the demand generally from the economy, like even the bigger companies are actually looking for new innovative ideas, and they really get. One of my friend was telling yesterday that they have developed an app which is actually catering to the different segments of market, that is the retailers and wholesalers, and even the other market, like the agriculture people, the farmers and the retailers. That is so that with this app the farmers can actually uh, tell that okay, they have this much of products. Say if it is a tomato, if it is a potato, okay, I have this many 25 kilograms of tomato ready now. If you want, you can take it. I mean, they can probably just simply give a tentative price also which they are looking for. Now the retailers will be able to directly order in this app itself from the farmers, so that a lot of middlemen are avoided. So because of this, the agriculture, the farmers will get the maximum benefit of the money that is being sold by the retailer. Okay, so what happens here is, so this platform, of course, it was there, and it was actually a lot of things where at this started with this work, actually, this platform. Just as I said earlier, the minimum viable product was this. So, and again, later on, there are so many features added to it. Actually, even finding, if you are an entrepreneur, you can, if you want, you can find a team member in that app. So even in funding, of course, even mentors, definitely all those things. So all these different things were added into this app. So what I wanted to tell is, this app actually was actually inquired for a takeover by Tata's, in fact, when they are going to build for a kind of a platform like this. So this person is a small entrepreneur sitting in Calicut doing all these things. Okay, so but actually what happens is this bigger corporates are having this has somehow got into the radar of this bigger corporate, and they wanted to take it up. So this kind of a culture, or rather the system or the economy, is what we are having right now. So even if your students are doing something and even getting it publicized in the social media, or even otherwise in the media, what happens is, if there is some demand from any of the corner for this, definitely they will have for this kind of an, of course, it is apart from the customer or customers and normal revenue model, revenue stakeholders in the revenue model. Apart from that, what you have a bigger economic, the environment, which is actually interested in either takeover, or it could be funding. So there are so many, the demand on, and the system has gone into such a level where even if whatever you do, it is being observed by so many people, and probably the demand in the economy is much more. Okay, and definitely the universities and institution open sources, there are so many technologies that is being given into public. Even if you have innovators, see, when we say about supporting the innovators, supporting the student innovators, they don't really have to probably build a big technology, robust technology on their own. They can even take the technology, get licensed from some of the institutes or some of the technology builders, in fact. So there are so many organizations, or so many research and development institutions, organizations in India itself, which have already developed many technologies which are there for transfer. Okay, so technology transfer is another big thing which you have right now in the around you, and even in this, many of the technology development R&D organizations like NCL Pune, then the chemical laboratory, in fact, the National this IIT Delhi, IIT Madras, and all the IITs mainly are having a lot of technologies ready for transfer. Even under the ICAR, Indian Council of Agricultural Research, ICAR, there are so many organizations, so many institutions like what we have in Calicut, the Indian Institute of Spices Research, etc. All of them have different technologies developed by them, which is ready to be licensed out to the entrepreneur. So it all depends on, some of the like IIT Delhi, NCL Pune and all, they have their own incubation centers for the entrepreneurs who are taking the technology from them and developing it into a business. Okay. So we have all these open sources for the technology development. You have enough of portal which is having starting from the Startup India portal. You have a lot of different portals and different organizations which are actually showcasing the technologies developed. Like you can go to the NIF, National Innovation Foundation portal, and find out the technologies being supported by the National Innovation Foundation. Now, if you are interested, if any of your entrepreneurs or innovators are interested in any of these technologies, you can approach them for getting it transferred to you. Of course, this comes with a price. right? You will have to give whatever licensing fee or rather technology transfer fee that they are asking for, depending, of course, you can have the different ways of technology transfer, like either it could be a total buying out, or it could be royalty basis, or it could be an annual basis, or whatever. There are so many different forms of methods of technology transfer that you can, that depends on the buyer and the licensor. Okay, so I'm just telling that there are the inventions which are being happening in the research and technology, research and development organizations are open to the innovators also, who can take the technology from them and develop it into a startup. Okay. Then funding, definitely you hear a lot about funding every day now, like bigger funding, bigger companies funding the smaller companies. It could be CSR, it could be in equity-based funding, in angel network, investing in different smaller companies, and venture capital definitely it's a next stage. So all these sorts of funding, either equity-based or debt-based funding, there are plenty in the market. Okay. So that part also is fine now. And then again, infrastructure, incubators like ours, many of you also will be having the incubators. We provide the innovators the physical infrastructure with which they can use and develop. It is a kind of most of the cases, it is a kind of plug and play offices, or the laboratories, which you will be having, or many of the institutions are. Why all these engineering colleges mainly, or engineering institutions like even yours also is able to set up the incubation centers? Basically because you have a technical backup, you have a laboratory backup, that is basically a part of a major part of the infrastructure, right? So this infrastructure also is being made open to the innovators which they can use and develop their product. Now, the labor pool and education network is basically another big source of cost cutting for the innovators. Okay, here actually you can take interns, you can make use of the consulting, or rather the technical expertise of the faculty, and then it is actually a cost-effective way of making your product using all these things. And of course, being in a normally when you employ somebody, your so the source is limited to that brain, right? Here actually you don't have too much of spending, but at the same time you have many sources, or rather more than one, or more than 10 people who will be willing to help you out, either on a payment basis or not. Okay, so it depends again on the relation between the mentor and the mentee. Then, of course, the cultural change, definitely, I told you earlier itself about the cultural change, that what was in, when our generation, or the previous generation, and what is right now. So there is, of course, as you must be knowing, the Kerala is the first state to come up with a student entrepreneurship policy in India, and many other states have followed it. So it is basically a cultural change has happened over the past 15 years. So which is definitely for a very good, very good result actually it is giving. So now this is, I was just talking about the innovation ecosystem that is happening in this place, country. Now again, when we are actually dealing with the technocrats or technology-based students as who are coming as entrepreneurs, okay? Now I already told about what are the aspects which you probably, or one aspect I already mentioned, that is the perfectionism. That is, the people normally go till the end, that is all the product to take it into the market, they wait till all the functions are being incorporated into the product. But I already told you that we should not allow them to wait till then. So with whatever, again, the perfectionism, debugging, and all those things, to beyond a certain level, it need to be discouraged. Because if you are actually taking too much on it, you're probably wasting your resources, if that is not what the customer wants. Okay. Then the lack of management inputs is another thing. They may not know how to manage their resources, or where to go from, or how much money they have to do. And there are so many things, how they can, reach out to different people and get things done. Okay. So all these management inputs you will have to give mostly, and then again leadership qualities, that what is to be done, how they need to convince others about their product, because business basically is all about convincing your what you have to what your target customers, to your targeted segment of market. Okay, so that is one thing, that the leadership qualities is what you have to look for. So that is probably something probably you might have, you might not find it in the pure technology based students. Then again, the financial awareness about the financial aspect is something else. So most of the uh, the business plans which we see were from the students probably, or many others, many other innovators, probably they may not have, it may not have a proper working on the income and expenditure, or rather the inflow and cash outflow, or rather when they are going to break even, what is going to be the fixed investment and the other investment that is required. So all these things, we will definitely, an innovator or a person who's going to do the business definitely will have to keep in mind or arrive at before going to start the things. Okay, then of course the lack of proper management of the team. I already told the members not with complementary skills is one thing. Definitely, if it is going to be a team, and it is always better to have a team than a single person. Okay, because a single person, you have a lot of areas to be touched upon in starting a business and in running a business. So what happens is, it is always good if you have more than one person who be the different people with different people expertise in different things. That is always better. See, if everybody is talking, if there is nobody to do the things, actually it will have a problem. And again, there should be one person, minimum one person with a clear good financial skills. Okay, because not that you have to bring somebody, at least one person should develop from the team, one person should develop the financial skill, so that the calculations and how much fund is required and all can be understood. Okay, so that is one thing. The members with complementary skills is something that you have to look for, and a proper management of the team is something that you need to have. Now, when we call for the funding proposals and all, we ask one person to be the lead innovator if it is in a team. Basically, it is, of course, we ask for that, and for the funding aspect, we ask for that to for handling the funds and all, for that easiness. But otherwise, it is good. Definitely, normally the team will have a leader, and for that particular leader, it is always good that you ask them to have point out what are the leadership skills that he or she lacks, and ask them to improve on it, because leadership skill is something that they have to have. And even again, the conflict management between the team members, if there is some problem happening, if there is something goes wrong, if there is some difference moving in, that leader should be able to solve it out. And it is always better that the team members accept them as a leader. It is always good, because then actually they will have a kind of commitment towards them, or rather they will listen to them in a better way. So conflict management is another thing. Then again, lack of course, monitoring system is another problem. Like, if you need to have a proper monitoring system. For this proper monitoring system, you should definitely ask for a business plan. Okay, because when somebody is coming to you with an idea, with an innovative idea, you should always ask them to prepare a business plan, or at least a business model. Okay, ideally it has to be a business plan, because the business model may not have a proper the picture. Hello, hello. Yes, is it somebody wants to speak? Somebody want to ask something?
No, madam, you can
Oh,
continue.
okay, fine, thank you. So it is always better that you ask for a business plan, because it will business plan normally will cover all the details that they need to concentrate on. Okay, because the business model canvas may not have all the aspects in detail. Okay, Then again, the lack of what I was telling is the monitoring support. Monitoring is something that is very important in developing this business. Because if you have some standards against which you can monitor the progress of the team, that is what it will help a lot. See, once planned, it is half done. A well planned one is a half done, right? So it is always better that you have a well planned business with a good business plan, so that for us, on the incubation side, also it becomes easier for us to monitor against what the goals that they themselves have set. Okay. So this monitoring can be a periodic monitoring, could be 6 monthly, could be quarterly or whatever, up to you. So we normally, after 6 months of starting a business in our incubation center, we normally go for a monitoring or a kind of, evaluation, okay, of the progress. Then, of course, lack of mentoring support is another thing. The mentoring support, definitely we have to find good mentors when they're coming to you. Definitely we have to see who can be the mentor, technically as well as managerial, total from the industry side. It is always good to find some good people from the industry side to be the mentors as for the innovators, because of course, from the industry side, from the entrepreneur, successful entrepreneurs, definitely some management experts, they will bring a certain discipline to the working of these innovators, because normally they will not be able to. They will not be clear on how to go about, or probably they will have some good idea, and even on the incubation side, what happens normally is we probably start telling them that they have to go in this way, but mostly when ourselves and the incubation managers and the innovators, since they meet each other every day kind of thing, like, very regularly, they kind of, they may not take it so seriously. But when somebody else from the outside, if they advise on how they have to do and what they have to do, and if they take it more seriously. Okay. And of course, when it is a proven entrepreneur, it is all the more good. Okay. So it is always better that we find out something. Now, funding is another thing. Funding, definitely, we don't have normally much of a big issue with the funding, because we have a lot of sources now. And I already told you about the seed funding, the Kerala Startup Missions funding, and even we also have a lot of different funding schemes, which we look for in terms of seed funding and even the prototype development funding. We have from many sources. So I'm not touching too much on that. So I think I just need to shift to another slide right now, another deck right now, because I have to tell you about what a business plan is, how you develop a business plan. So this is another thing which probably I think I can give you a little input on to help your students to build a business plan. Okay. Definitely, this business plan is not, kind of a jigsaw puzzle wherein you have different uh, pieces of the puzzles which you put together to form a complete picture. So a complete picture of the business is actually when you will get actually when you do a complete business plan. Now, and how you can find out you can properly shape the opportunity that you have already found out. Okay, so it is basically a process. I already told you that this is basically a process. You go through the planning process, and it is not an end. You cannot normally, what we used to we normally take a business plan from the innovators who is coming to join us, and after 6 months you will have an evaluation to see what you have done is according to the business plan or not. If not, probably, see, by when an innovator starts working on the idea and starts developing, or rather starts exploring the market only, they will be able to understand that there need to be so many changes. Okay, so even we have one of our company which wanted to have around 50 lakhs of rupees for their complete product development, but ultimately it happened to be that they have to spend almost 4 crores of rupees on that product development. Okay, so this is the status. So it is actually a kind of in process development for the business plan, even on the financial side or whether in the marketing side or whatever. Okay, So it is kind of an open-ended kind of a document which you will have to normally take it forward along with you. And again, it is a shared roadmap for the journey, especially when there are more than one. Of course, when there is a team, for the team members, it is a shared roadmap. Again, it actually helps you to build commitment also among the team members. So it is always better, and you have to ensure that when the student team forms a business plan, make it sure that each of the team member will have clearly visible role in developing the business. It could be like, doing the marketing or doing the funding, raising the funds. Okay. Everybody need not, if you have a team of 4 people or 3 people, no, everybody need not go after funds. One person go for the product development, one person can go for market research, another person can go for raising the funds, or rather dealing with other people and getting the things in place. So operational side. So all these different works there will be there, which can be shared with different people, and then it could be shared among the team members. So that is why we tell that the business plan also is it is also a shared roadmap for the journey of entrepreneurship. And definitely, it basically builds a commitment also. Why? Because it is, when we write down in a business plan and submit, especially to an external agency, what happens is the students, of course, they will have the discussion among themselves and then arrive upon the responsibilities of each of the people, right? And when you are submitting it to the either the incubation side or the institution head or whatever, okay, or even the coordinator of IID, IEDC or whatever, what happens is, so it will have a sense of commitment in that for each of the team member. So that is another thing which you require. And even, develop additional team members also, you can use this planning. Okay. Probably when the student team starts planning, they will identify that for doing certain things, they don't have people. Even it could be for a coding, it could be for doing a market research. Okay, doing, even for funding, probably somebody will be really good in finance aspect. So the team, if they lack that kind of a person, probably if they are able to identify a person from outside that who can do this work, what they can do is they can approach with, okay, we have a team, we have this plan of business, but we have a lack of, person, or rather lack of capability of for this person. For this capability, we don't have. So if you can help us with this, if you can join us. So team development, this way you can develop the team also into, making into a complete team. Then, of course, it is basically, definitely this business plan, business pitching and everything is used for, the majority it is used for attracting resources, attracting funding. Okay, that is with the business plan only you go for the pitching, right? So that is another thing. And again, it is kind of establishing credibility kind of thing. Like, if you feel that, okay, in the business plan, you talk about your product, your market segment, there are so many things which we are going to talk about in the business plan, which I'll show you in the coming slides. So all these things, if you are able to uh, give it in black and white in the business plan, it actually helps you build the credibility for the team. So building credibility is very much required in terms, especially in attracting funding, okay, or rather attracting the investors. Fine. So this is one thing. This is why you need to have a good plan before you start a business. Now, again, we have a lot of things to be kept in mind before making the business plan. It has to be honest and objective, very, very clear it should be. And it has to be honest also. Like, you cannot say that you're going to make 1 crore, or your innovators cannot say that they're going to make 1 crore or rather 2 crores revenue in the first year itself. They're going to be slightly kind of it is not going to be true, right? So what kind of over projection cannot be there in the business plan. And again, of course, you have it has to be very clear and very simple. Okay, better not to put too much of technology into it. You can always have the technical backup somewhere else. Okay, so for the product. So, again, you have to understand the audience before you present the business plan. When somebody is when you're going for the investment, or when you're going for a team member, when you're going for a marketing something like that, you need not put too much of technical into it. Rather, you can say from the market perspective, or from the user perspective, or how the product is going to help the customers to achieve their, or rather get their satisfaction for the use case. Okay. Now, basically, you have to focus on fundamentals. First financials, and again then operational side, how many people will have to be there, how you're going to sell it. Okay, you cannot say that everything is going to be on the online side. Of course, there will be some businesses which are going to be purely online, but apart from that, too much dependence on online, or too much dependent on, or rather it shouldn't be kind of over statement, like you have to be very truthful to what you say. Then of course, it has to be detailed, but it cannot be too much detailed. Okay, you cannot have a 400 pages or 300 pages business plan. Make it to the minimum 20 pages maximum. Okay, 20 or 22 pages. That's all. Okay. And that also you will have to make you have to make a executive summary first, which will be just 2 pages maximum, because this 2 pages is what you have to give to the audience first. Okay, then only if that executive summary is impressive, and if it is giving enough details, or giving interesting details, okay, the people who wants to look into the business plan will go forward. Okay, so this is the outline of the normal business plan. You can probably just skip, or rather I can share this with you also. Basically, whoever is the inventor coming to you who wants to start a business, you have to ask them to make this. Okay. So, and again, I will just go through all these things in a very in a slightly speedy way. Of course, executive summary, definitely it has to contain all these things. Okay, executive summary, I've seen many times it is being given as an introduction. It is not an introduction. Okay, it has to have all the relevant details in it. Has to have the description of the business opportunity, and what is the market, what is the market opportunity, that is why you are going for this product or this service. Okay, and the target market and projected demand. What is the demand that is right now is there, and right now what is the status of the competitor. Okay, and competitive advantages and sustainability. What is the specific competitive advantage that your proposed business is having over the competition that is already existing in the market? Now, your profitability, how much profit you can make, your margin, okay, what is the edge over that you have over the competitor? Management team, that is what is, again, we have to give in detail, which is what is the management team, how many people are there, what is their background, what is their experience, what is their educational qualification, and again, of course, all these things not in very detail, but you have to just mention, that's all. Okay, just mention in 3 or 4 lines about each of these things. Now, if you are going for a financing thing, if you're asking for a finance, like you're going to pitch your plan in front of an investor, you definitely will have to tell him, I mean, the deal offering is to be given in the executive summary itself, then only he'll be able to go beyond the executive summary and read the whole plan. Now, why they should invest now? Probably there will be some specific reasons why you have to go for the business now itself and not wait for some more time. Okay. Now, when you say about the opportunity analysis, the first thing in this, okay, what you can write is here is the market share, market growth rate. Of course, you can go and refer a little bit to the Google, okay, the secondary data that is already published, okay, and again, it is always good if you can do a kind of market research as well, okay, because just to have a real feeling of what is existing in the market, if you can really do a structured market survey and make a report, there is nothing like that. Okay, so and again the market size and structure, how is the market and what is the structure, like you have a, if you can just take it into smaller areas and smaller geographical areas and then go beyond, expand slowly, penetrate into other markets as well and all. Now, the margins that you can get, probably it could be a custom-made product, or it could be just like, a very innovative one, very disruptive kind of a product idea. So if you, what is the margin that you can charge for? Okay. Then again, the competitive advantage that you have, it could be a good technology, a new innovative idea, or it could be a cost effectiveness. Okay, that what is very cost effective product than what is there in the market. And more very importantly, who are your customers? And sustainability, the long-term sustainability or scalability of the business. Okay, then how you're going to harvest the existing market potential. Now for the marketing plan, how you're going to do your marketing. If is it a direct marketing or through different channels, or are you going for distribution of your own distribution channel, or are you going to have dealers or whatever? So all these different marketing channels is something that you have to see. Marketing goals, quantitative goals, revenues, and the team size and their own revenues, how much they are going to make in each of the time interval. Then, of course, the trademark branding, if you have more than one product, how you're going to brand them together. So all these things. And distribution and other alliances, like, if you have something along with something, some other products, if you want to sell your product. So all those kind of distribution and alliances, and then pricing and promotion. How you want to price your product. Again, the pricing, you have different theories of pricing, which is again on slightly towards the marketing's marketing, the lessons, which I don't want to touch up now. There are different ways of pricing. Definitely, if it is a very innovative and very disruptive kind of item, you go for a higher pricing in the beginning. As we had in our very early years, we had the mobile phone for a very higher cost, and now which is you can have very good smartphone for that price of the Nokia 3310. So all those kind of different pricing strategies that you have to see. And what is the kind of promotion? Now everybody goes for the, of course, how much the online promotion can help you. Or should you have other display boards or other promotional methods, or other rather advertisement, radio advertisements and all, if you want to have for your product. So all these things we will have to look into in a detailed marketing plan. Management team consists of your own team members, the innovators team members, which I told earlier that we better that team with complementary skill is there, with a passion, definitely. They might come, some of the students might come to you. We had so many of those kind of students. They will come to us, they will just describe about their passion, of course, of their idea. Then they will go, or we will ask them to do something, then they will go. Again, we will ask them to come back after doing that job, that task, and then again with 1 week or so, they will come back. So they will keep on pestering us, or rather, they will keep on coming to us, okay, until they get a clear idea of how they have to go about, until they get whatever they want. Okay, so that is a passion that you need to. I'm not telling that you should make them walk again and again, come to you again and again. Not that. Definitely, we have to be supportive, but we have to be realistic on what we are telling. We are asking them to do. Okay, so that is there, but still, you can always check for the passion that the person or the innovator is having. Definitely. Okay. Now, experience, know-how, all the education background of all the people, and even the experience that they had, and any specific, the degrees or whatever, any specific the knowledge background that the person is having for this particular business, it is better that you keep it in the business field, so that we can understand of, okay, if for us also, if there is a clear idea of what each person will be doing, what each person is good about, we can always replace that person if they have some problem to if they want to go out, if you want to replace them, if we have a clear idea of what that person's, background is and the skills are, okay, it is easy for us to manage that. Now, another thing is the board of advisors or directors. Now, this board of advisors or directors is basically for a person. For me, if I want to make a business plan, of course, for me it is not so important. I can always go back to whoever mentors I have, and I can seek their advices. But for convincing somebody else, if they are going to submit the business plan to an incubator or to an investor, it is always good that we give the details of our board of directors and board of advisors and other patrons also, so that it is basically a credibility building. Okay, so that is another thing. Board of advisors and directors, something else that you can give in the business planning as the management team. Financial plans and statements, I already told you that most of our people lack the financial skills, which we need to ensure that they give at least all these things, that is projected and existing financial statement. They have already started, how they have accounted, whatever the pre-operational expenditure and all what they have spent already. Better that you make a projected balance sheet. They make a projected balance sheet and profit and loss statement, cash flow statement, inflow and outflow, and preferably a break-even analysis. That is, when they are going to be in a profit path, they can understand if they do a break-even analysis in the beginning itself. Okay, so all these are the financial plans or statements which you need to, because of course this is required even if you are approaching a bank for a bank loan, or even a conventional financial institution requires the business financial plans or financial statements as part of the business plan. Now, the key success factors and risk factors. What are the success factors and risk factors? Probably you better do a SWOT analysis of the business. What is your strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat? It is always good if what to see what are the factors that you believe that you're going to succeed. Okay, and what are the risks? How will you manage the risk? That is another thing. A plan B. If the plan A is not working, plan B. What kind of entry barriers that you will have for the competitor, and if at all they enter, how can you have the advantage over them? Okay, so all these things we will have to. Now again, another one is the investment and expected returns. Basically conclude with a real clear articulation of what makes a business proposition a compelling investment opportunity. Why the investor need to invest in them, and how what exactly they see. Why what exactly? Of course, when business means it is in monetary terms. Okay, so how you can actually look for this business, how you can why the investor should give you the money, and how much money you can give back to them. Of course, this is especially when the innovator is going to an investor for getting the fund. Okay, we should be ready to make them, or rather bring the innovator team to make a business plan to that level. Okay, now, common pitfalls, basically the concise statement, opportunity statement is not given, competitive advantage is not given, clear vision is not there, and again, a proper deal proposition is not there, and the no competition, the normal kind of problem, myopia, kind of, you don't normally go for normally they feel that whenever they come with a good technology, they feel that there is no competition, this is the first one in the market, and as such, there is no product as like this. But it's definitely a wrong sentence, because for whatever idea that you have, there is a competition. Okay. Now, absence of risk considerations and demonstrated understanding of the business is another thing. This is actually well given if you have a good financial plan. Okay, financial sheets, which I told just earlier, just in the last slide. Okay. So, and definitely be confident, have a positive attitude, but of course, for which you will have to understand the market very well. Okay, and it has to be a customer focused one. The business, of course, if you need to bring in the actual use cases in the business plan. And now, you have to know the economics of the business, how it is actually right now there, and how you can take it. Or rather, how you can take the market again, from whatever is the existing one. Now, of course, you have to. It is not like you make the business right now. Probably you don't see it how it is going to be after 5 years. So always ask the innovator coming to you to imagine themselves or their company how it is going to be after 5 years, minimum after 5 years. Okay, so this gives a long-term commitment. This gives a long-term perspective of starting the business. So this is most important thing for them to have the planning for a longer term, so that they don't drop it in between and go, because our effort as well as their effort is going to be based in that case. Okay. Now it has to be, they have to be passionate, as I told in earlier itself. They have to be a kind of passionate. You can always check the passion in different ways, as I told earlier. That is it basically for this one. Now, if time permits, I would just like to mention a little bit on on our NIT TBI also. Just take maybe 5-10 more minutes. Yeah. So we have some of our companies like this. This is a picture from the Government Cyber Park, which is in Kozhikode. One of our company which is moved into Government Cyber Park with around 8,000 square feet of space and around 100 plus employees now. Another company, one of our first company in the Arabian Travel Mart, one picture from them. And now just to give a little bit statistics, we had around 84 companies so far. Number of companies graduated is around 61, and number of current incubators 23. And of course, we had some failures also. Definitely, there will be, as I told earlier, you can probably incubation can help them fail early, fail safe. Okay, that also can be possible. And focus area earlier, it was definitely when we started in 2004, it was IT and IT-enabled services, but definitely quickly moved to electronics, and later on, mechanical, agricultural machinery, and biomedical, agriculture, biotech, and all. We have some of the companies. Now, services, I already mentioned about these things, which are the normal services that we normally, of course, the incubation center normally gives to the entrepreneurs in our system or stakeholders of the entrepreneurship system itself. That kind of legal, accounting, technical, consulting, management consulting, etc. are the normal services that we do. And then again, we have a panel of mentors, which consists of NIT alumni and the industrialists, who are mostly the entrepreneurs, of course, from the technical side also, some of them for the hand holding, which we talk. This is apart from the faculty here, who are normally, any company, if they join us, what normally we do is assign them with a faculty mentor who is from the same similar technology area, so that for us also, for the incubation management team also, we are not experts in all the technology. Okay, so what we can do is we can go back to the faculty mentor and see what is happening with this company, how their product development is happening and all. So that faculty, apart from the faculty mentor, we have a panel of mentors who will normally help us in understanding or advising these people, these innovators, and help them through their journey for achieving their goal. Then a little bit of business facilitation, training, and all we do in managerial as well as technical side also a little bit. Whenever the incubatory company gives us a request, or rather we try to identify their requirement. Funding is, of course, with our infrastructure services. Let me also mention the lab. Almost all the labs are open for the innovators, so that whenever they require they have some requirement, they give to us, they request to us, and we through the head of the department or through the concerned faculty concerned with the lab, we give them the slot for doing their work in the lab. Then, of course, other things like conference room, meeting room, training room, and everything we already have here, which is open to all which is open to the use of the incubator also. We have just started. We right now have around 11,000 square feet space for incubating the companies. Which is slightly in an older building, but now we are just getting allotted another 26,000 square feet. The work is just started, and probably it might take around 7 to 8 months to complete, but still we're just going for that. Setting up a fab lab also. We have there are so many machineries which we have already ordered. Some of the machines have already come, and just planning to set up in another 2-3 months. Now, for the funding part, definitely there are the grant which is given to the selected innovators under 2 schemes mainly. One is from Ministry of MSME and the other is under DST, the Nidhi Prayas scheme. I'm sure Nidhi Prayas funding call for application must have come to your group also. It is a funding which is given for prototype development from idea to prototype. It is a pre-seed funding. Okay, it is up to the seed level. As I told you with the first slide itself, beginning itself, that the friends, family, and fools probably give the funding to try out your idea. Okay, so probably you can count this Nidhi Prayas fund also into that kind of a funding, which is a pre-seed funding. Up to 10 lakhs is what you can give for the prototype development for the idea. So definitely the idea will be selected based on all these parameters, like which I was telling you, like the marketability, or the business potential, how well you can take it into a scalable one. Okay, so all these things we will see, or we'll have a scrutinizing committee scrutinizing the applications initially. Then some of them are shortlisted for presentation, and then these presentations, when it being happened, we will have people from industry and people from consulting side, technical side, all as our panel members. Then they will, based on the merit of the idea, they will select some of the funding, and maximum we can, or rather minimum we can fund 10 ideas in a year, which is last year it was 12 ideas. Of course, some of them may not need 10 lakhs completely, so we select 1 or 2 more persons. This time already 8 been selected now, and now just close the application deadline. I mean, just close the calling of application. Now we're just scrutinizing around 3-4 more to be selected with whatever applications we got. So that is about the grant scheme. And again, we have loan scheme also. We have so far given around 3 crores of funding to around 20-25 companies, ranging from 2 lakhs to 45 lakhs. Okay, this is with a 6% interest as seed funding, and which is to be given back to us with the interest. In the repayment period also varies according to the type of business, type of product that the companies are having. So definitely there is a 6-month moratorium. In some cases, it has been extended maybe to 8 months or 9 months, something like that, and then they have to pay it back to us. And we have some of the companies, we help them to get investors as well. Just now closed a deal for around 25 lakhs. We closed investment proposal. So this is another thing that we normally do, and we combine with other the organizations like TIE and all. We just had the launching of Capital Cafe. TIE is Capital Cafe, which is actually an investor pitching. We are also a part of the organization, and then we promote that also into helping the innovators. So this is again how to join. What we normally look for as a business plan. Then we have our own expert panel, which is normally scrutinizing the business plan, and then select the companies for a 6-month provisional incubation. And then after the 6-month provisional incubation, we have an evaluation of to see what the progress that they have achieved, and then they are taken for the confirmed incubation. Then they can ask for loan if they are going for. But the selection for the grant funding as grant is totally different. That we call for application, and then they need to submit their application with their business plan. Okay. So this is it from me. I think we are left with 10 minutes. Pradeep sir, I think I stopped at sharp timing itself. Hello, Pradeep.
Thank you. Thank you, madam.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you. Thank you, madam.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Now,
a wonderful
open for
talk.
questions. I have, I think, around 10 minutes.
Okay. Anyway, thank you, madam. Thank you for a wonderful talk.
Sorry, I was a bit fast in speaking. I hope you were able to cop up with me. I'm sorry for that.
It's not a problem, madam. Okay. Anyway, thank you. Thank you for a wonderful talk in a short span of time. And I have a quick question. It may be a request as well. Madam, you have a lot of experience in related to startup, initiating the startup programs at NIT. Kindly
Okay,
share
sir.
your own experience, how you initiated the programs, what are the areas you covered, and what are the ongoing programs there. It will help us how we can initiate similar like this here. Just if you
So
share
it's a
your own
long
experience.
story. It's a long story, in fact, because it was not me exactly initiated the startup activities here in NIT. I joined in 2001 here, okay, just after my BTech from here. So in fact, we had this entrepreneurship development cell under the National Science and Technology Entrepreneurship Board of DST from 1988 onwards in NIT, then REC. Okay, so in fact, at that time, the talk culture was totally different than what you have right now. Since we had being REC at that time, since we had a lot of technical expertise, what we normally used to do is then we used to conduct some programs for the MSMEs, okay, small and medium enterprises. And the skill development programs, whatever skills expertise is there with the faculty, or rather the technical side people here, we used to try to disseminate those knowledge into the MSME. That is one thing, that continuous training programs used to happen at that time. And another is about the entrepreneurship development programs. Those who want to start the business, it could even be a the normal businesses, even the trading, not exactly trading, with some good ideas. If they want to start the business, we normally give them the entrepreneurship development program, which is 4 weeks actually. Mostly the DST supported programs. It is a certificate program. So this course is actually helping us to get connected to the society. So that we also try to understand the pulse of the normal entrepreneurs also. Okay. So, and again, a bit of publicity from our side also. And that program, which we started maybe early 90s, we still continue. Okay. Every year we normally conduct 3-4 programs of this kind. It is basically to attract and even support the entrepreneurs of the region as well. Then now, if you ask me right now, we have an Institute Innovation Council, which is actually promoting the innovation among our own students, institute students. Then we have, of course, the IEDC also, so they are also part of the IEDC network. As part of the Institute Innovation Council, IIC, which is under the Ministry of Education, we conduct a lot of programs every year. So probably, I think around 15-20 programs we conduct every year. That is specifically for our own students. And then otherwise, we get a lot of applications and inquiries through this call for proposals for this funding programs and all. Otherwise, so this is basic. These are some of the activities that we do here. And then, of course, starting the incubation center actually happened in 2002, almost, I should say, 19 years back. So in 2003, is when we gave the proposals for incubation center to DST. I am sure which the scenario at that time is having no relevance with what we have right now. But still, so this TBI was a slow, output of the entrepreneurship development activities that the institute had from 1988 onwards. So one of the very early incubation centers in Kerala, and of course we don't have too much of a growth, but still trying to cope up with the interest of the institute and trying to develop good quality entrepreneurs. Very much limited in number. That's it. I'm not sure if I answered your question. But still, we're trying to concentrate more on the technology product development. So mostly we are actually looking for incubation of product development companies rather than the service companies. Basically, because the product development companies requires more support than the service companies, and they require a lot of technology inputs.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam.
Yes, sir. That's it.
Now the session is open for the audience for asking questions or giving feedbacks. If you have any questions, you can unmute yourself and ask the question. Or if you have any questions, you can put in chat box also.
പ്രദീപാണ്.
Yes, sir.
അതെ, ഇപ്പം ഞാൻ 2011 ഒരു 14 days പ്രോഗ്രാം ആയിരുന്നു NITTBയിൽ വന്ന് ഞാൻ എന്റർപ്രണർഷിപ്പിൽ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. അപ്പൊ ഇപ്പം അത്തരം പ്രോഗ്രാമുകളൊക്കെ നടക്കുന്നുണ്ടോന്ന്, പിന്നെ വുമൺ എന്റർപ്രണറിയൽ റിലേറ്റഡ് പ്രോഗ്രാംസ് യു ആർ കണ്ടക്ടിങ്, ഐ നോ ദാറ്റ്, ബട്ട് കോമൺ പ്രോഗ്രാമുകൾ നടക്കാറുണ്ടോ?
ഉണ്ട് സർ. FDPയും ഓണ്ടർപ്രണർഷിപ്പ് ഡെവലപ്മെന്റ് പ്രോഗ്രാംസും വിമൻ ഓണ്ടർപ്രണർഷിപ്പ് ഡെവലപ്മെന്റ് പ്രോഗ്രാംസും നടക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. FDP നമ്മൾ കണ്ടക്ട് ചെയ്യാനിരിക്കുന്നതേ ഉള്ളൂ. കുറച്ചുകൂടി കഴിഞ്ഞ്, അതായത് മേ ബി ഒരു 2 മാസം മറ്റോ കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഒരെണ്ണം ഫ്ലോട്ട് ചെയ്യാനുണ്ട്. ഇപ്പോൾ വിമൻ ഓണ്ടർപ്രണർഷിപ്പ് ഡെവലപ്മെന്റ് പ്രോഗ്രാംസും അതർവൈസ് ടെക്നോളജി ബേസ്ഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഓണ്ടർപ്രണർഷിപ്പ് ഡെവലപ്മെന്റ് പ്രോഗ്രാംസും ആണ് നടത്താൻ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്. ടെക്നോളജി ഡെവലപ്മെന്റിന് ഇപ്പോഴും ചെറിയൊരു ടെക്നോളജി ബേസ്ഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള പ്രോഗ്രാംസിന് ഇപ്പോൾ ചെറിയൊരു ബുദ്ധിമുട്ട് എന്താണെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ, നമുക്ക് പല കാര്യങ്ങളും ഓൺ ദ സ്ക്രീൻ കാണിക്കാനേ പറ്റുള്ളൂ. മറ്റോ നമ്മൾ ഈ ഹാർഡ്വെയർ നെറ്റ്വർക്കിംഗ് ഒക്കെ ആണെങ്കിൽ ഇവിടെ കുറച്ച് പ്രാക്ടിക്കൽ ആയിട്ടുള്ള സെഷൻസും കൂടെ കൊടുത്തും, ഈവൻ ഇപ്പോൾ ആപ്പ് ഡെവലപ്മെന്റ് അങ്ങനെയുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ നമ്മൾ അങ്ങനെ കുറച്ചുകൂടെ ഹാൻഡ്സ് ഓൺ, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഹാൻഡ്സ് ഓൺ എന്ന് പറയാൻ പറ്റില്ല, അറ്റ്ലീസ്റ്റ് ഇൻ കേസ് ഒരു ഡെമോ പോലെയെങ്കിലും കൊടുത്ത് നമ്മൾ ചെയ്യാറുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. പക്ഷേ ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ ലിമിറ്റേഷൻ കാരണം നമുക്ക് അതിനകത്തൊക്കെ കുറച്ച് ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടുകളുണ്ട്. ബട്ട് സ്റ്റിൽ വി ആർ ട്രൈങ് ടു ഡു അവർ ബെസ്റ്റ്.
നമ്മള് പോളിടെക്നിക് സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് കുറച്ചുകൂടെ കമ്പാരിറ്റീവ്ലി എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് സ്റ്റുഡൻസിനെക്കാളും കുറച്ച് സ്കില്ലുള്ളവരാണ്. TBAക്ക് ഏത് രീതിയിലാണ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അപ്രോച്ച് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുക? ഞങ്ങളുടെ സ്റ്റുഡൻസ്, ഞങ്ങളുടെ ബേസിക്കലി ഇതെല്ലാം IEDC നോഡൽ ഓഫീസേഴ്സ് ആണ്. പിന്നെ ബാക്കിയുള്ളവർക്ക് അറിയാൻ വേണ്ടി പറയാണ്, പ്രതിമ വെരി ഹെൽപ്ഫുൾ ആണ്. നമ്മള് ആയിട്ടുള്ള പാലക്കാട് പോളിടെക്നിക്കില് കുറെ കാലമായിട്ട് എല്ലാ പ്രോഗ്രാമുകൾക്കും ഞാൻ വിളിക്കാറുണ്ട്. ഒരു 3 വർഷം മുമ്പ് ഇതേപോലെ ഒരു പ്രളയത്തിന്റെ സമയത്ത് 2018 പ്രളയത്തിന്റെ സമയത്താണ് റെയിൽവേ സ്റ്റേഷനിൽ വന്നിട്ട് തിരിച്ച് കോളേജിലേക്ക് എത്താനൊക്കെ ഒരുപാട് ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടായിരുന്നു ഒരു പ്രോഗ്രാമിന് വരാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട്. റിജുവിനേഷൻ ഓഫ് IEDC എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ പ്രോഗ്രാം. അന്ന് സജീവ് ഗോവിന്ദ സാറൊക്കെ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു, ഇനാഗുറേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത പ്രോഗ്രാം ആയിരുന്നു. 3rd ഡേ ആണ്, നവംബർ 10th തന്നെയാണ്, 9th അന്ന് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നത്. 8, 9, 10 നടത്തിയ 2nd ഡേ ആയിരുന്നു മേഡം ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നത്. അപ്പം വളരെ ഹെൽപ്ഫുൾ ആണ്. എന്ന് മാത്രമല്ല TBA റിലേറ്റഡുള്ള ആക്ടിവിറ്റീസും ചെയ്യാം. ഞാൻ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത് നമ്മുടെ IEDC നോഡൽ ഓഫീസേഴ്സ് ഇവിടെയാണ് ഉള്ളത്, ഇവിടെ ഉണ്ട്. അപ്പം അവർക്ക് ഒരു സപ്പോർട്ട് എന്നുള്ള രീതിയിൽ, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അവർക്ക് എങ്ങനെ ഏത് രീതിയിലൊരു സപ്പോർട്ട് TBAയിൽ നിന്ന് കിട്ടും ഈ ഒരു എന്റർപ്രണറിയൽ എക്കോസിസ്റ്റം അവരുടെ ക്യാമ്പസിൽ ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്യാൻ? വളരെ ഷോർട്ട് ഇതിനകത്ത് പറയാം, മാഡത്തിന്റെ സമയമായതുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ ചോദിക്കും.
കുഴപ്പമില്ല സർ. നമുക്ക് 1-2 കാര്യങ്ങൾ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്നത്, ഒന്ന്, ഈ നല്ല ഇന്നോവേറ്റീവ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നമുക്കിപ്പോ ഫുള്ളി നമുക്കിപ്പം ഇവിടെ വന്ന് തന്നെ ഇൻക്യുബേറ്റ് ചെയ്യണമെന്ന് നിർബന്ധമൊന്നുമില്ല. നമുക്ക് വേണമെങ്കിൽ ഒരു ഹബ് ആൻഡ് സ്പോക്ക് മോഡൽ വേണമെങ്കിൽ നമ്മളുടെ ഒരു ഡയറക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് ഒരു മന്ത്ലി മീറ്റിങ്ങോ അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ ഒരു ഇവാലുവേഷൻ ഒക്കെ ആയിട്ട് ഒരു ഇന്ററാക്ഷൻ ഒക്കെ ആയിട്ട് വെച്ച് നിങ്ങളുടെ റെസ്പെക്റ്റീവ് പോളിടെക്നിക്കിൽ തന്നെ അവരെ ഇൻക്യുബേറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് കൊണ്ടുവരാം. അപ്പോൾ ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇവിടെ നിന്ന് കിട്ടാവുന്ന എന്തെങ്കിലും മെന്ററിങ്ങോ ഹെൽപ്പോ എന്താണ് വേണ്ടതെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ, അത് ടെക്നിക്കൽ ആയാലും അല്ലാത്ത ആയാലും, നമുക്ക് നിലവിൽ ഓൺലൈൻ, അതല്ലാതെ കുറച്ചുകൂടെ ഒന്ന് റിലാക്സ് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇവിടെ വന്നിട്ട് എന്തെങ്കിലും ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിൽ, അതായത് once in a month ഇവിടെ വരുന്നു, എന്നിട്ട് എന്തെങ്കിലും ചെയ്യുന്നു, പോകുന്നു, അങ്ങനെയാണെങ്കിൽ അങ്ങനെയും ചെയ്യാം സർ. സോ ഇപ്പൊ ഇവിടെയുള്ള ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു ഫാക്കൽറ്റിക്ക് നല്ല ഏതെങ്കിലും സ്റ്റുഡന്റ് ടീം ഉണ്ട് എന്ന് പറയുകയാണെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങളുടെ പോളിടെക്നിക്കിൽ തന്നെ അവരെ ഇൻക്യുബേറ്റ് ചെയ്തോളൂ. പക്ഷേ ഇഫ് ദേ വാണ്ട് ടു ബി വെർച്വലി ഇൻക്യുബേറ്റഡ് ഹിയർ, പോസിബിലിറ്റി ഉണ്ട്. അങ്ങനെ ഒരു പോസിബിലിറ്റി, അതായത് നമുക്കൊരു കോ ഇൻക്യുബേഷൻ മോഡൽ വേണമെങ്കിൽ സെറ്റപ്പ് ചെയ്യാം. അപ്പോൾ ഏത് പോളിടെക്നിക്കാണ് വേണ്ടതെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ അങ്ങനെ വേണമെങ്കിൽ തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും നമുക്ക് നോക്കാവുന്നതാണ്. അതാണ് ഒരു കാര്യം. പിന്നെ ഇതുപോലെ ഇങ്ങനത്തെ ഈ ടെക്നോളജി ബേസ്ഡ് എന്റർപ്രണർഷിപ്പ് ഡെവലപ്മെന്റ് പ്രോഗ്രാമിലൊക്കെ പങ്കെടുക്കാൻ താല്പര്യമുള്ളവരുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ, ഇപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് നോർമലി നിങ്ങളുടെ ക്ലാസിന്റെ ഷെഡ്യൂൾ എങ്ങനെയാണെന്ന് എനിക്ക് കൃത്യമായിട്ട് അറിയില്ല. പക്ഷേ എന്നിരുന്നാലും ഞങ്ങളിപ്പോ ഈ പറയുന്ന EDP ഒക്കെ സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ പോകുന്നത് രാവിലെ ഒരു 3 മണിക്കൂർ 4 മണിക്കൂർ ക്ലാസ് എന്നുള്ള രീതിയിലാണ്. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് majority of the students നിങ്ങൾക്ക് നിങ്ങളുടെ ഭാഗത്ത് നിന്ന് ഉണ്ട് എങ്കിൽ നമുക്കത് വേണമെങ്കിൽ ആഫ്റ്റർനൂൺ ആക്കാം. പക്ഷെ ആഫ്റ്റർനൂൺ വെച്ചിട്ട് അങ്ങനെ വേണമെങ്കിൽ ഒരു 3 മണിക്കൂർ നിങ്ങളുടെ ക്ലാസ് ടൈമിംഗ് നേരത്തെ രാവിലെ ആണെങ്കിൽ, അപ്പൊ അങ്ങനെ എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു ട്രെയിനിങ് പ്രോഗ്രാം കൊടുക്കാൻ ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ആളുകളുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അങ്ങനെയും നമുക്ക് ചെയ്യാം. ഇനി അതല്ല, ഒരു ഓൺടർപ്രണർഷിപ്പ് ഡെവലപ്മെന്റ്, ഓൺടർപ്രണർഷിപ്പ് അവയർനെസ് ക്യാമ്പ്, ഇപ്പൊ നമുക്കൊരു ഓൺടർപ്രണർഷിപ്പ് അവയർനെസ് ക്യാമ്പ് കൂടെ നമുക്ക് ഓൾറെഡി ഷെഡ്യൂൾഡ് ആയി വെച്ചിരിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. നിങ്ങളുടെ ഇപ്പോൾ ഫിസിക്കലി ഏതെങ്കിലും സ്ഥലങ്ങൾ ഓപ്പൺ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അവിടെ വന്നിട്ട് വേണമെങ്കിൽ ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് ചെയ്യാം. ഒരു ക്യാമ്പ് കൂടെ ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് കഴിഞ്ഞ വർഷത്തെ തീർക്കാനുണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ അത് വേണമെങ്കിൽ ഏതെങ്കിലും സ്ഥലത്ത് വന്നിട്ട് ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിൽ ലിമിറ്റഡ് നമ്പർ ഓഫ് സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് മതി. ഒരു അറൌണ്ട് 50 സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് അങ്ങനെ വേണമെങ്കിൽ അങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യാം. അപ്പോൾ അതൊക്കെയാണ് നമുക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്ന കാര്യങ്ങൾ. പിന്നെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഏതെങ്കിലും നല്ല പ്രൊപ്പോസൽസ്, ഒരു ടെക്നിക്കൽ ഹെൽപ്പ് മാത്രം ആവശ്യം എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു സ്പെസിഫിക് ആയിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അതിനും പറഞ്ഞോളൂ. ഇനി അതല്ല, ഈ പറഞ്ഞതുപോലെ ഒരു ബിസിനസ് പ്ലാൻ ഡെവലപ്മെന്റോ ഒരു ബിസിനസ് മോഡൽ ഡെവലപ്മെന്റിനോ അങ്ങനെ എന്തെങ്കിലും നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഒരു ഹെൽപ്പ് വേണമെങ്കിൽ, ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു സ്പെസിഫിക് കേസിൽ ഹെൽപ്പ് വേണമെങ്കിൽ തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും അപ്രോച്ച് ചെയ്യാവുന്നതാണ്.
ഇപ്പൊ ഒരു പ്രോഗ്രാം നടക്കുന്നുണ്ടല്ലോ, സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പ് റിലേറ്റഡ് സപ്പോർട്ട് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ട്, ഫിനാൻഷ്യൽ സപ്പോർട്ട് ഉൾപ്പെടെയുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടല്ലോ. കഴിഞ്ഞ ദിവസം ഞാൻ മേഡത്തെ വിളിച്ചിരുന്നു. അപ്പം കുട്ടികൾക്ക് കറേജ് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നമുക്കത് സപ്പോർട്ട് കൊടുക്കാന്നുള്ള രീതിയിൽ പറഞ്ഞു. അതും കൂടെ ഒന്ന് ജസ്റ്റ് ഫണ്ടിങ് സപ്പോർട്ട് അല്ല, സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പ് സപ്പോർട്ട് അല്ലേ, നല്ലൊരു പ്രോജക്റ്റ് ആണെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ കഴിഞ്ഞ അതുകൂടെ ഒന്ന് എക്സ്പ്ലെയിൻ ചെയ്യാമോ? ഇപ്പൊ നടക്കാൻ പോകുന്ന ഞാൻ അതിന്റെ പേര് ഞാൻ വിട്ടുപോയി. ഇപ്പൊ നടക്കാൻ പോകുന്ന ഒരു പ്രോഗ്രാമിനെ ഞാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞ ദിവസം രജിസ്റ്റർ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുമെന്ന് ചോദിച്ചപ്പം
അത് ഓൺടർപ്രണർഷിപ്പ് ഡെവലപ്മെന്റ് പ്രോഗ്രാം ആയിരിക്കാം സാർ ഉദ്ദേശിച്ചത്. ചിലപ്പോൾ അത് ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞല്ലോ, 4 ആഴ്ചത്തെ ഒരു ട്രെയിനിങ് പ്രോഗ്രാം ആയിട്ടാണ് നമ്മൾ പ്ലാൻ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. പ്രോസ്പെക്റ്റീവ് ഓൺടർപ്രണേഴ്സിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള, അതായത് എല്ലാം ഇതിപ്പോ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെയുള്ള മാർക്കറ്റിങ്ങും അക്കൗണ്ട് ഫിനാൻസും ഹ്യൂമൻ റിസോഴ്സ് ഡെവലപ്മെന്റും എല്ലാം കൂടെ ഉൾപ്പെടുന്ന ഒരു പാക്കേജ് ആയിട്ടാണ്, ഒരു ക്യാപ്സൂൾ രൂപത്തിലുള്ള ഒരു ബിസിനസ് ഡെവലപ്മെന്റ് പ്രോഗ്രാം ആയിട്ടാണ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് നമ്മള്.
ഞാൻ ഉദ്ദേശിച്ചത് സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പ് ആയിട്ട് ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്യാൻ താല്പര്യമുള്ള പ്രോഡക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് ഉള്ള കുട്ടികൾക്ക്, പ്രോഡക്റ്റ് ഉള്ള കുട്ടികൾക്ക്
നിധി പ്രയാസ് സ്കീമാണ്.
നിധി പ്രയാസ്.
അത് പക്ഷെ ഞങ്ങൾ ഇപ്പൊ കഴിഞ്ഞ ഫസ്റ്റിന് ക്ലോസ് ചെയ്തു അതിന്റെ ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻ. എക്സ്പ്ലെയിൻ ചെയ്യാം. അത് ഞാൻ നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞല്ലോ, അതായത് അപ് ടു 10 lakhs 10 ലക്ഷം രൂപ വരെ ഫിനാൻഷ്യൽ അസിസ്റ്റൻസ്, ഗ്രാൻഡ് രീതിയിൽ ഫിനാൻഷ്യൽ അസിസ്റ്റൻസ് കൊടുക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്നതാണ്. ആ പ്രോഗ്രാമിൽ നോർമലി ഫിനാൻഷ്യൽ അസിസ്റ്റൻസ് മാത്രമല്ല അതിന്റെ പ്രധാനമായിട്ടുള്ള അട്രാക്ഷൻ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. ഞാൻ നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞല്ലോ, ഒരു ഐഡിയയുമായിട്ട് ഒരാൾ വന്നു കഴിയുമ്പോൾ ആ പെർട്ടിക്കുലർ മേഖലയിലുള്ള ടെക്നിക്കൽ എക്സ്പെർട്ടൈസ് ഉള്ള ഒരു ഫാക്കൽറ്റിയെ കൂടെ അവരുടെ മെന്ററാക്കി വെച്ച് ആ ഒരു ഐഡിയ പ്രോട്ടോടൈപ്പ് ഡെവലപ്മെന്റ് കറക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് നടക്കുന്നുണ്ടെന്ന് നമ്മൾ ഉറപ്പുവരുത്തി ഒരു ഫണ്ടിങ് സപ്പോർട്ടോട് കൂടി ആ ഒരു പ്രോട്ടോടൈപ്പ് ആക്കി, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു മിനിമം വയബിൾ പ്രോഡക്റ്റ് ആക്കിയിട്ട് ബൈ ദ എൻഡ് ഓഫ് 1 year to 1.5 years അത് ഉണ്ടാക്കിയെടുക്കുക എന്നുള്ളതാണ് നമ്മൾ അതിനകത്ത് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ അതിനിപ്പോ വേണ്ടിയാണ് നമ്മളിപ്പോ ഇവിടെ ഫാബ് ലാബും മറ്റു കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ സെറ്റപ്പ് ചെയ്യുന്നതും ഒക്കെ. മോസ്റ്റ്ലി പല കേസസിലും പല കഴിഞ്ഞ ബാച്ചിലൊക്കെയുള്ള പല ഓൺടർപ്രണേഴ്സും ഇവിടെയുള്ള അതാത് ഫാക്കൽറ്റിയുടെ ലാബുകളിൽ നിന്നാണ് ഈ വർക്കൊക്കെ ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ അത്രയും ആക്ച്വലി കുറച്ചൊരു ഓപ്പൺ സിസ്റ്റം ആയിട്ട് തന്നെയാണ് ഇവിടെ NIT ഡെഫിനറ്റ്ലി ഓൺടർപ്രണർഷിപ്പ് ഡെവലപ്മെന്റിന് ഉള്ളത്. അപ്പോൾ ഇനി എന്തെങ്കിലും ആരുടെയെങ്കിലും കോളേജുകളിൽ നിന്ന് നല്ല ഐഡിയ ഉള്ള ആളുകൾ, വയബിൾ ആണെന്ന് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് തോന്നുന്ന ഐഡിയ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും നമ്മളുടെ അടുത്തേക്ക് പറഞ്ഞു വിടാവുന്നതാണ്. സർ മ്യൂട്ടാണ്.
നീതി പ്രയാഗ് അല്ലേ മാം? അതാണ് ആ പ്രോഗ്രാം.
Okay, anyway, now we crossed 3 o'clock.
Yes, sir. Okay.
This time I am inviting Shilpa teacher for vote of thanks.
Okay.
Good evening all. A warm welcome to all. I thank Preeti ma'am, Chief Executive Officer NIT Calicut, for her wonderful and informative speech on developing innovation into business. Thank you ma'am once again from GPTC Perindalmanna. Again, I thank every participant. Also, I am winding our section. Tomorrow, 9:30 p.m. we will start our next session. Thank you all.
Thank you, madam, and thank you, Pradeep sir, and thank you the organizers of the FDP for inviting me. നല്ലൊരു പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോം ആണ്. നിങ്ങൾ ഇത്രയും പേരെടുത്ത് ഇത്രയും IDC കോർഡിനേറ്റേഴ്സിന്റെ അടുത്ത് ഒരുമിച്ച് സംസാരിക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്നു എന്നുള്ളത് വളരെ നല്ല കാര്യമാണ്. സോ എന്തെങ്കിലും കാര്യങ്ങൾ തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും നമ്മൾക്ക് ഹെൽപ്പ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്നതുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഡെഫിനറ്റ്ലി യു ക്യാൻ കോൺടാക്ട്. നമ്പർ ഞാൻ നേരത്തെ കോൺടാക്ട് ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് ഞാൻ നേരത്തെ ഒരു സൈഡിൽ ഇട്ടിരുന്നു. ഇനി അതല്ലെങ്കിൽ പ്രദീപ് സാറിന്റെ അടുത്തുണ്ട്. You can always, any of you can take the contact from them and contact us. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Pradeep sir. Thank you all.
താങ്ക് യു മാം, താങ്ക് യു.
ശരി sir. ഞാൻ leave ചെയ്യുന്നു.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
നാളെ പാറ്റന്റിനെ കുറിച്ചാണ് ഡോക്ടർ അജിത് പ്രഭു സാറാണ് KSCST, അദ്ദേഹമാണ് ക്ലാസ് എടുക്കുന്നത്. എന്താണ് പാറ്റന്റ്, എങ്ങനെയാണ് നമുക്ക് ഏതൊക്കെ നമ്മുടെ പ്രോജക്റ്റുകൾ എങ്ങനെ പാറ്റന്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും, പാറ്റന്റ് ഫണ്ടിങ്, അങ്ങനെയുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെയാണ് സംസാരിക്കുന്നത്. നാളെ എല്ലാവരും കൃത്യസമയത്ത് ഉണ്ടാവണം എന്നുള്ളത് റിക്വസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാണ്. താങ്ക് യു.
Now this is the time for closing the session. Thank you for all.